In the 14th century, a nightmare swept through Europe, killing people faster than they could be buried. The Black Plague, also called the Black Death, wiped out up to 200 million people between 1346 and 1353. It started with tiny fleas living on rats, but it didn't stop there. Once it spread through the air, no one was safe. Entire families died overnight, and whole villages vanished without a trace. People who were perfectly healthy in the morning were dead by sunset. It was a disaster beyond imagination. The horror began in Central Asia, likely in the Tian Shan Mountains, where the plague first emerged. It traveled west along trade routes, infecting people before they even knew what was happening. By the time the disease reached the port of Kaffa in Crimea, it was unstoppable. In a gruesome twist, historians believe Mongol armies catapulted infected corpses over city walls, using the plague as a deadly weapon. From there, it spread like wildfire, reaching Italy, France, England, and beyond. No one knew how to stop it. As the Black Death ripped through Europe, life as people knew it crumbled. With so many dying so fast, there weren't enough graves to hold the dead. Streets were filled with bodies and the air smelled of death. In some cities, nearly 60% of the population perished. Governments collapsed, businesses shut down, and food became scarce. Priests refused to give last rites, doctors abandoned their patients, and entire families locked themselves inside, hoping to escape the invisible killer. Fear and desperation ruled the land. With no cure and no real understanding of how the disease spread, people tried everything to stay alive. Some whipped themselves in public, believing that punishing their own sins would end the plague. Others fled to the countryside, unknowingly carrying the disease with them. Doctors wore eerie, bird-like masks filled with herbs, thinking it would protect them from the bad air. But nothing worked. The plague didn't care who you were, rich or poor, young or old. It killed without mercy. Even after the worst outbreak ended, the Black Death kept coming back for centuries, haunting Europe with smaller but deadly outbreaks. The sheer number of deaths led to massive changes in society. With so many workers gone, wages rose and feudalism began to collapse. Some people turned to religion for answers, while others lost faith entirely. The world would never be the same. The Black Plague wasn't just a deadly disease, it was a force that reshaped history itself. The terrifying truth is that the Black Death never truly disappeared. The same bacteria that caused it, Yersinia pestis, still exists today, hiding in animals like rats and prairie dogs. Though modern medicine can now treat it, outbreaks still occur in some parts of the world. The question remains, could another deadly pandemic strike again? If history has taught us anything, it's that no disease stays buried forever. The Black Plague was one of the deadliest disasters in human history, leaving a scar that can still be felt today. But could something even worse happen in the future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more terrifying true stories.